Basically, the thing with Ace Combat 3 is that it's a lot more fun to play than it is to really watch.
Alright, well, look, I'll be the judge of that.
And I say that as someone who's been getting bored as I would, trim up these videos.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, this mission is also, one of the longest and most intensive just straight combat missions. There's no gimmicks to it. We just have to kill a bunch of planes.
It seems like a pretty large number of red silhouettes there.
It's somewhere around 30-something planes, if I recall correctly.
Holy booly!
Also, amongst those are a couple of the plane type that are just, impossible for me to catch in any of the planes that I currently have. Currently, the best one we have is the Su-37 here. It's a bit better than the F-22. Both of them are still, relatively, mid to high tier planes in this game, though.
Right, so this one, what's it got more of? Speed or firepower?
It's just all around really good. The Raptor is, I believe it's very, very mobile.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I mean, this thing does look pretty mean. It's nice to see you got those Macross Plus style volleys of missiles.
Yeah, it's not as many as I would have liked to fire. I'm a fan of 6 missiles at a time, obviously.
Why stop at 6?
Yeah.
It's the future. You should be firing hundreds of micro missiles.
No, that doesn't come until Ace Combat 7, which takes place in the future, but not this far in the future. It's only a little bit in the future, a bit past our present timeline.
Oh, gotcha. So we're only in the 6 missile future.
Yeah. Well, it's a 6 missile timeline. The 100 missile timeline was a different thing. That happened after Civil War.
Gotcha.
This first batch of planes is... they're made of paper, they're easy to take out. I think 4 of the batches of planes are really easy. One of them is kind of tricky, and then one of them is straight up impossible for me at the time that I recorded this, which was being an idiot, and I've been playing all day by this point.
Oh gosh.
Also, in the Japanese version, this was a significant story mission, because it was you and your buddy Keith as General Resource pilots taking on the assembled Newcom forces. Now it's just you and an unnamed blue plane that occasionally fires a missile. I think the only thing it's got going for it is that it can destroy planes in one hit.
Gosh, I tell you, it's tough being one man against would you call it an army? Flotilla? What's bigger than a wing in terms of plane?
The flotilla is in a later mission. This is let's say this is an army, or whatever
Sure.
the actual appropriate, whatever the collective name for planes is. Okay, the 211s. They are the ones that are a little trickier to catch. They're around about the same level as the Su-37, maybe a bit better.
Well, they don't seem too good at shedding missile locks, so.
No. When you have as many as we do, you can't just shoot, and then a few seconds later you find out if they managed to crawl away. Like that.
Ah.
Lunafex has been adamant that as long as you get the right angle when you fire the missile, it will always hit, and I'm sure that's either not the case or is only the case in the Japanese version.
I mean, I guess, logically it makes sense. The right angle is the one that hits, but is that supposed to be just like an AI exploit kind of thing, or?
Maybe it is. But yeah, his claim about like missiles never missing if you get the right, if you fire it from the right point. If that were true, I would have had a lot less trouble in the final mission. But as it stood, I could not hit the enemy planes in that mission for the life of me.
Alright, so we got a couple of R201s. I'm not much of a plane guy, and also I think all the planes in this are made up, right?
All of these ones that we're fighting are specifically because they're New Works forces, and they're all part of the R line. They're radical.
Ooh, they do seem pretty radical.
And the 201s are like complete flying bricks. They have no mobility to speak of. And once we take out all of those, we go blow up some stuff that's placed around Megafloat, which is usually what we do in this game. Like every 4 or 5 missions, we just go tidy up around Megafloat for a bit. In that massive swarm of planes, it was the 103s that were the real problem, because they have the speed and mobility to just get away from any missile lock.
Oh, I see.
And you can't catch up to them. They're like the second fastest or actual fastest plane in the game, at least for regular missions.
Gosh, that seems like a hassle. So those you almost have to bait them into taking an attack run at you and then hope you get lucky.
I think in this run I got maybe 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure my AI friend took out most of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at least he's doing something. I guess if you can't have a personality, you should at least be effective.
God, I should put that on a t-shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd
Anyway,
be
here's
slightly...
the flotilla.
Oh, hello, flotilla. Yeah. There we go. That is a collective noun for boats, I suppose. Wow, man, I am really surprised that this plane stalls out so easily.
I mean, how slow can planes usually go before they would start to stall out?
Well, because the thing on your left is that your speed or turbine RPM?
Yeah, the thing that's rapidly increasing. Yeah, I mean, you'll stall out if you try to climb too quickly, or if you just try to stop dead in the air, which usually happens when I miss something because I can't be bothered to take an actual intelligent, like, second pass at it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, so I guess that makes sense if these planes, these semi-future planes, have ramjets, I guess. Based on what I remember from KSP.
Hey, we unlocked one of the planes we destroyed.
Weird. That is just a weird plane, man.
They get weirder. Anyway, we're not going to use that in this mission. This entire video is like putting the Su-37 through its paces and then never touching it again, because after the last mission in this one, we'll get way better planes.
Alright.
So the idea, I mean, these are all missions that are strung together from the various pathways that you could play in the Japanese version. So these aren't connected, but they've connected them in their very, very minimal story sense in this game by saying that the assembled forces from Newark in the last mission that was them responding to some false information from Ouroboros. And so after that, New Work and General Resource, it said it in the mission text a minute ago, but those two of the factions went fighting against each other. And so the point of this mission is that there are civilian news choppers mixed in with all of the planes fighting above the destroyed city.
Okay, I'll bet there are.
Yeah, they're the ones that say end target over it.
Right,
if we shoot
right.
them, pretty sure if we shoot any of them, or a certain number of them, probably like one, then we don't get an A rank.
Warning.
So what's the maximum threshold for civilian media murder?
Caution. Stall.
In an ideal world, 0.
Gotcha. So, I suppose I'm just curious how much of a monster they're allowing you to be.
Oh, me in this game? No, I can't reach Cypher levels.
I mean, that's, that's a pity.
But again, it's because like I also don't have a personality in this game, because I'm not really a character. See, look at that. The missiles just literally steered away.
Yeah, they just kind of skated off, and that's funny.
They went, oh shit, that plane looks weird. It must not be a plane.
Like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Maybe we took a wrong turn.
So yeah, the last mission was about like 10-ish minutes, and this one also goes for like 10 to 12 minutes, I believe. Just because both of them are very similar. It's shoot a bunch of planes, no frills. They're all planes, and this one is even harder because all of the planes in this one are very good. I'm pretty sure. The last one had a lot of garbage planes that you could get kills on, but here we've got F-22s and 103s, and I think some 211s. And possibly even some Su-43s.
Oh, gosh. Pretty heavy opposition, then. And they send just one pilot.
Yeah. What else would you do?
Warning.
Ah, well. I guess this makes for better TV.
With all these news cameras, we're bound to get some good angles. And so, like, most of the mission is just trying to catch up to them. Oh, right, there's some XFAs mixed in here as well.
Warning.
Oh boy, that sounds threatening.
Not when you find out what the name of that plane is, but it is a very good plane.
I'm gonna guess it's something like the daffodil or the canopies.
Not quite.
Warning.
I'm gonna
So
continue
you're-
venturing a guess.
Feel free. The tricky part of it, well, the non-targets are like not a problem. You're never in any danger of hitting them, because even if you get close enough to get a lock on, as soon as you get a lock on, the screen pulls up some text that says, "Yo, dipshit, don't do this." But they do get in the way when you're trying to switch targets, because they count as targets that are being cycled through.
Oh, gotcha. Is it possible, however unlikely, to tag them with a missed rocket?
Warning.
I would be impressed if that happened.
Missile alert.
I suppose that's wildly improbable, but it seems like the kind of thing that I'd manage to do.
Like, I don't know what the default, because they wouldn't have them. Even if there weren't realistic-ish physics in this, they wouldn't have missiles just go on forever. They would, like, try to destroy them after a certain amount of time for some reason.
I
But
suppose
there are
that makes sense.
realistic-ish physics in this, so I'm imagining that the missiles would all eventually trend towards the ground, or however missiles go when they just have too long of a flight time.
Yeah, those missed ones. It seems like they just kind of phase out.
Yeah. Also, a big part of this mission is like getting from one cluster of planes to another. And I have to destroy more planes than just the targets to get the A rank. And then once you destroy everything, some new fighters approach something Port Edwards to these fighters. Update target. Okay, these ones are easy to hit, because these are all bombers. Or at least that one was.
I thought the city was pretty much entirely destroyed by this point, though. I wonder why they'd send in bombers now.
Caution.
That's a great question.
Maybe they were hoping to bomb a news chopper or something?
I mean, I took that exact plane, that bomber, into a general air-to-air and air-to-ground mission. So it's not out of reasonable assumption.
Yeah, work with what you got, I suppose.
And some more 103s. So I never really paid much attention to the story of, wow. I forgot that I killed them that quickly. I thought I was going to have more time to, like, start on a new point.
Not bad, man. That's a pretty good kill.
What can I say? I'm the greatest ever.
Well, just judging by that clip, I'd believe it.
Also, this is a really efficient flight path, as you can see. Me going back and forth constantly. And they're like, alright, we'll like figure out what this was about.
I like that.
Oh, no, this is the mission where we find out that it was misinformation supplied to both sides from Ouroboros. So now we're going to destroy Ouroboros headquarters. We are still only about 2/3 of the way through the game, and Ouroboros are the final bad guys, but we'll destroy their headquarters for now and figure out the rest of the plot as we go through more missions.
Oh boy, I smell a quagmire.
God, I really wish the Su-37 had other missile options. Like, the regular missiles I just don't like. It's also why I don't like to use the F-22 in this one that much, because it also only has regular missiles.
I just realized it doesn't look like this plane's got one of those wacky Ace Combat style super weapons.
It doesn't. We don't get individual super weapons. Well, well, throughout the regular game, no, hang on. In your first playthrough, there are no super weapons. Also, the game is not very big on super weapons in general. This being still on the PS1. The previous game in the series was Ace Combat 2, and you'll recall they didn't have like a big super weapon like Excalibur or anything to destroy there. They had a couple of like bases that you would fly into and silos to destroy, but in general it was just like destroy lots of planes, and then there were the Zoe planes. So this continues that trend. It's more about the planes being really good.
Oh, gotcha. Which was the first Ace Combat that added special munitions, like the
that would be
gosh.
4.
4, okay.
As in, special munitions, as in things have a separate weapon from your missiles. This
Right.
one will have some special weapons, but they take the place of the missile slot. Fortunately, they are just so good that it's worth using them exclusively instead of missiles. This game also does start to use a bit of the it does use the super big gunship sort of stuff that later Ace Combats use, but it's like they were testing the waters a little bit. They're testing the waters on a lot of stuff that you see in 4 and the Golden Trilogy.
Okay.
This mission is pretty chill. Partially because of the music, partially because it's at nighttime, and partially because it's not as much air-to-air. It's pretty light on the air-to-air. You kind of just destroy all the ground forces and then like one squadron of planes. Does take a while though, apparently.
Yeah, this does seem a little bit like a milk run.
Oh, and then I realized there was one gun way over here that I didn't kill.
Oh, heavens.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Whoa!
Well, thank God he's over there destroying the base. He'll never come back for us.
I think we're gonna be okay, guys.
Major, see this blip on the radar? It's getting closer.
Oh no, it's a player character!
Don't worry, we can withstand at least 2 missiles. He'll never fire more.
Never. History has shown that planes only ever double tap.
In the Japanese version, this was like the leader of the original good guys that you were working for, and it was like, oh, I was a dick from the get-go and I was trying to set it up so that I rule the world or something, and this is where you and your buddy kill him, and this was the end of the standard UPO route. In this, it's the Ouroboros leader, and now he's dead. Well, they are dead. Mission was so confused that that happened that it forgot to kick in the music until a few seconds later.
They're like, oh wait, something momentous happened.
Yeah, like the text makes it seem like that's relevant and important. It's oh, the Ouroboros leader was prevented from escaping. Doesn't say killed, which is probably why we're going to continue to fight Ouroboros later.
That's the thing with an Ouroboros, man. If you cut off the head, it's still got an ass.